So I have the brand new MacBook Neo in this very, very nice silver version. I paid $799 for this device, and I want to tell you whether you should consider getting this device and why it might be an absolute no-brainer, or should you absolutely look at the M1 model. Let's get into it. Okay, so these are the two devices we're talking about today. Now, why am I comparing these two first and foremost? Well, the reason is the power. The power ability of these two devices is closer than anything else. This is the M1 MacBook Air, and this is the MacBook Neo. So this is brand new, came out last week, and it, as we all know, hopefully by now, it has a brain that comes from the iPhone 16 Pro. Now this is the M1, so this is the silicone created by Apple that has basically changed the whole laptop world because it is extremely powerful, super efficient, and even though this came out in 2020, so we're talking 6 years ago now, it's still a super banging laptop. Now, back when it came out, it was over €1,000. You can now pick up one of these for around 450, 500 euros or thereabouts. And that is great, great value. I bought this one 3 years ago for 700 euros, which I think was a great deal at that time. And it has been brilliant. It literally is an absolute workhorse. And to put them side by side, they are very, very similar in size and shape, and you can even see that my MacBook M1 has taken some bangs. Now, this has been my wife's laptop. I bought it for her, and she has been looking after it, and it has taken a few knocks. That's a new one, just spotted that one. It got fully dropped on one side there, and it has a full-on ding on the edge of the frame and the screen, but it is completely unaffected. It works perfectly. The screen has been unaffected. It's normally in a carry case at all times, but this device is 100% solid and I would completely recommend it. And the reason my title of this video is that this device, the Neo, is a no-brainer is because finally, you're getting value for money from Apple. Because not only are you getting extremely powerful devices for a reasonable amount of money, you can actually buy historical devices that were really, really good, but premium now at a price that is reasonable and acceptable. So if you're looking for the best of the best in terms of software updates going forward from this year onwards, then the MacBook Neo is going to work for you because this is going to be supported for at least 7 years in terms of updates and so on. The only limitation I would say of the MacBook Air M1 is that the support for this software-wise is going to run out next year, maybe 2028. So you're still going to be able to get OS updates and you're still going to get security updates until 2030. That's according to Apple themselves, but you won't get operating system updates past the next couple of years. However, with the MacBook Neo, because it's a brand new device, this is going to get 7 years worth of updates in terms of the operating system going forward. But they're both going to last you probably at least another 5 years. So definitely the Neo, because of the build quality and everything involved around it, is just absolutely brilliant. But even the MacBook Air, which is already 6 years old, I think is just an absolute banger for example, if you've got a child who needs to go to university, college, school, and they need a reliable device, it could be either one of these, which is why the Neo is a no-brainer. But the power output from the M1 is still surpasses the Neo. Now, what has been my experience of using the MacBook Neo for the last couple of weeks? Well, it's very, very clear. Basically, I really love the design. I love the weight. I actually find that the MacBook Air, the M1, is heavier than the Neo, which is crazy, but it's only by a few grams. But the size and the design of the Neo is just gorgeous. It's got nice rounded edges, very smooth in the hand. The only main discrepancies between these two, of course, you can see that there is a design difference as well. You can see how they look side by side. One is a bit more narrow at the end and tapers. The Neo is much more squared off and is a complete rectangle, of course. In terms of quality, you're not going to notice a difference with the screen. They are both absolutely gorgeous screens. The Neo does have a slightly better selfie camera, so it's got a 1080p selfie camera, whereas the M1 has a 720. But the camera quality, not a huge difference. The microphones are banging in both, really good recording capabilities. And the only other thing really that you might use these for general users, so I'm saying 90% of people who are going to use these devices for web-based, maybe using Pages or Microsoft, maybe presentation creation, and mostly web-based work, so online, websites, etc. Both these devices are going to work brilliantly. For 10% of people who are doing high definition photo rendering and video rendering, then these are going to work. I tell you right now, I used this device 2 or 3 years ago to produce my videos, and it rendered it not the fastest because I've now got the M4, but perfectly capable of rendering 4K videos in 30 FPS. And this video right now is being created on the MacBook Neo as well, and the speeds are negligible. A little bit slower actually on the Neo, but still absolutely capable. Of course, if you buy a newer MacBook Air M5, it's going to be half the speed of the Neo, but that might not be why you are buying the device. And also, if you're new to making videos, you're not going to care how long it takes. To render a video, it takes longer to edit videos than it does to render videos. So when you're editing, it's about how it functions, and that editing works just fine. I use CapCut Pro version, and on this device, it works brilliantly. So I've been really, really impressed by what they've done here. And I have to say, if you want a brand new Apple device with all the bells and whistles in terms of software support, then the MacBook Neo is the way to go. And you don't need pro-level video editing capabilities. But if you want really good value for money, excellent quality, but you also want, crucially, a backlit keyboard. Now, what is a backlit keyboard? Well, it means that when you open it up and you're sitting in a dark room, the keyboard has lights behind it. The Neo does not have that. That is one of the few weaknesses of this device. The other thing that I would recommend is that you do buy the device with the bigger memory. This is the one with the 512 memory, and it has the fingerprint ID on the top right-hand side. There is a smaller model, which is €100 less, which has the 256 memory, and it doesn't have the fingerprint ID. Is it a game changer? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely. I would 100% recommend getting the larger internal memory, because you will want that memory, particularly if you're a student, anyone really, because if you're storing items locally, photos, videos, movies, it's going to take up that space very, very quickly. And the fingerprint ID is brilliant because you can obviously make payments, do secure access, authentications, all of that with the fingerprint ID. You can do it still with the other one, but it's just safer and more secure, and fundamentally you've got more memory, so at least you're getting a little bit more. In terms of the similarities between these two devices, you will notice you've got USB-C ports on the MacBook M1. These are both high-speed ports, so there is a difference, and that is also how you charge the device. Same concept on here, but you have one port that is 3.2, which is more powerful, and then you have a 2.0. What does that mean? Basically, one port is fast, the other port is not so fast. So they both work, but one would be better for charging and the other one would be much better for high-speed data transfers, processing out, things like that. It's basically going to be much, much faster with one of them. So you kind of make a small sacrifice with the MacBook Neo in that regard. But again, most users aren't going to really feel it. And if you do get an adapter dongle, which allows you to plug in a separate screen, you can plug in other peripherals or connect to an SD card reader, you're going to want it to go through that first port right there, because that is the high speed one. The other port that you get is a 3.5mm jack, so you can plug in earphones if you want to. On the MacBook Air, it's on the other side of it there, but the same principle applies. And then the only other difference is that the speakers on the Neo are on the outer edge, but the speaker quality on both these devices is so surprising. The quality is really there. And I have to say, on the other versions of the MacBook Air, let's say the newer versions or the MacBook Pros, they are famous for their sound quality because they have larger bases and it allows for just more depth of sound. But you will definitely not have any complaints with either one of these devices in terms of sound quality if you're in a normal environment. If you're out and about, if you're in a noisy cafe, you might struggle to listen to it, but you wouldn't want to listen to anything there anyway. You'd probably be using some earbuds or earphones or something like that anyway. So these two devices are very, very comparable. And so if you want a really good deal, I would highly recommend a fully refurbished M1 because it is slightly more powerful, but will have less support over time. And the MacBook Neo, whilst comes in various different colorways, this is actually not my favorite. My favorite is the blue one. I just couldn't get hold of it because they were so popular. But they are both really good value products. And the only other variation that is relevant would be that the screens are slightly different in that the level of brightness. But again, I live in a very sunny part of the world and I have no problem with sitting outdoors with either one of these devices to be able to view them in broad daylight as well. So the choice really is yours. I'll leave some links in the description below as to where you can acquire the M1 or any of the other M version MacBook Airs. Would highly recommend, and they are finally good value for money. So I am very encouraging of you to consider getting a second-hand device that comes with full warranty. Otherwise, if you agree or disagree with anything I said, I'd love to hear from you. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye for now.